Here I have Freespace 2 with the Freespace open source code project files installed. I had this in the original box some time ago, and it was lost in time. I never really got through the whole thing. I think I remember I was getting frustrated with not being able to understand things, and sometimes they would give you instructions while you're in the middle of a mission, and I couldn't pay attention to the voice telling me what to do and fly and stuff. But it was fun at the time, other than that. And so I thought I'd see what the Freespace open project makes it look like. There's so many controls and keys. And back then I had a joystick, so it made it easier, but I've never tried it with a keyboard and mouse. So I'll just take a look and see what it's like real quick. This is a live stream at twitch.tv for anyone watching the recording on YouTube. You can follow me at twitch.tv /ITPalgame, ITPalagdin. Let me go ahead and start up the launcher for Freespace open. Well, I'm not done.
32 years have passed since the Great War. The Shivans vanished half a lifetime ago. And now, we live in the mausoleum of history. We inherit the legacy of ghosts who haunt these ruins. The elders call us generation. I remember stories of a glorious civilization, of cities with spires that reached the sun, of a blue planet with vast seas, of people with myths of humanity everlasting, of children who saw in the embers of dying stars the destiny of their race. And they hurled themselves into the void of space with no fear. They say our people have no present, only a past filled with horror. And a future they can only dream of. Now we forge a new alliance to guard the tomb of space and find within its cold expanse the salvation of our race.
That was the original intro. There is someone on the Freespace Open Project forums that has been redoing the cutscenes in HD. The forum post was like dated 2010 or so, and it was doing Freespace 1 and Freespace 2. There's several Freespace 1 videos done available to be viewed, but it looks like none of the Freespace 2 ones are ready. So it looks like it's just a long project. They are taking people to help. And if you're viewing this on YouTube, I will put links in the description so you can take a look there. Okay, I think I had already made a test pilot here or something. Let's see. But I never actually played. I just reinstalled over my installation since I had wiped drive and put on Windows 8 and upgraded to 8.1. Let's see. If you fire bombs when you're too far from your target, they may get shot down. Okay. As I was saying, there's a lot of things to remember in this game. Go to the options here and control config. All these buttons and things to remember. The targeting for your ship. This is if you're using the keyboard to move your ship. Or the number pad. And so forth. Weapons. Let's see, fire primary, secondary, button 2. Cycle forward primary weapon. Can I do a scroll bar or the scroll wheel? I don't know. Launch countermeasure button 4. That would be. I forget which that would be. Would that be the middle mouse button? Cycle primary weapon firing range. There's none there. And miscellaneous. Now, when you buy this at goodoldgames.com, GOG.com, it comes with a reference card, a manual, the HD wallpaper, and the soundtrack as well. So many things. I have on my right monitor the reference card up. Some things don't quite seem to match. There was a setting on targeting I was looking at. Target next shift T. Let's see. It was shift T, I was thinking. I do not see a shift T on the reference card. There's other shifts, but not shift T. Back to miscellaneous. So there's so many things to remember. Shields, different sides of the shields, transferring energy to shields, to weapons. So, search. Here's the search. I don't know what search was. Grounded means by search, nothing to type. I see. You click search and you can press on the keyboard. If I push L, it'll go to what L is. Toggle high HUD contrast. Okay. So I installed all of the what they call the MV whatever files, the high HD, and all the different mods or the different textures and so forth to bring it up to at least 2008 standards, and you can use this on a 1920 by 1080 monitor. So here's the HUD configuration. I don't know. Don't know what everything is. This is one of those games that requires a bit more than just jumping right in, and you'll need to know some things. But hopefully the tutorial missions I remember, but we'll find out. Some barracks, pilots. Forget this game was like released back in 1999 or so. So check on that again. Late 90s, you know. And so it's been upgraded through mods by people. The source code was released so that it could be upgraded. When you buy it on GOG.com, read the instructions or the description there with a link to the news link that tells you to go to the Freespace Open project website to get at least the 2 files that they were talking about there, 2 downloads. Unfortunately, they do not have a link there for a very helpful post on how to install. The links that they give you are like, there's a lot to read, and it can overwhelm you. First time I was looking at it or so, it was like be an hour or so to try to figure out what to do. There is a link on the same forums that has instructions on how to download. Let me go ahead and go into my browser here and go ahead and open up the bookmark manager. Let's see, for Freespace, and then we have instructions for manually installing Freespace Open and mods. That is in the Getting Started link, or Getting Started forum. So it's Hard Light Production Forums, Announcements, Getting Started, and then instructions for manually installing Freespace Open and mods. And it's generally, I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars for instructions. They do mention about the launcher. They don't say, the launcher doesn't tell you if you're using, if you have to use the if you have to use the WX launcher, which I have to, I guess, since I'm using Windows 8, you have to actually treat it as an installer. You click it, double click it, the exe, and installs the launcher. And you could basically install that launcher anywhere. And what I did was I put it in the Freespace folder. I have gog.com and then Freespace 2, and then I made a new folder for the launcher in there. And then just have my shortcut to start the launcher to start Freespace Open. So, like, these are all the different ships. And with the models updated with the mod, the textures and everything. Let's see, what's this? Mission Simulator? What is this here? I guess you can go on a single mission. I guess you have to have maybe created or done the mission first, and then you go back on it or something. Cutscenes. So just one cutscene is available that we've seen so far. I seem to remember the voice. Maybe not on this one. So here's some kind of story lore and intelligence. A lot of stuff to read there. In 2335, the destruction of the Lucifer Super Destroyer collapsed at the Sol jump node in Delta Serpentis, severing all contact with Earth. The fate of the Terran home planet remains open to speculation, though a number of scenarios are possible. As the center of an interstellar community, Earth could not survive in isolation without a radical transformation of its political and economic structures. On this point, there is no disagreement. However, the question remains whether the transition occurred peacefully or whether Terran society collapsed into anarchy. Strong arguments have been advanced from both sides. Goes on and on. It says more, but how do I go down? So here, go. For generations, Earth had been the political, economic, and cultural center of Terran civilization. Humans still measure time in hours, days, months, and years. They named their ships after the mythological figures of ancient Terran civilizations, and systems were still identified according to the constellations observed from Earth. The planet served as capital of the GTA, and the bulk of the Terran industrial base was located in the Sol system. Off-worlders identified their nationality according to the old Earth boundaries. The nation-states dissolved after the discovery of subspace and the emergence of an interstellar Terran society. Though necessity has diminished Earth's practical importance in the post-war era, discovering the means to return home remains a high priority. Vasudans are a civilization of philosophers, artists, and scholars. They immerse themselves in the teachings of those who came before them, perceiving history not as a linear chronology of events, but as a space inhabited by both the living and the dead. To the Terran outsider, Vasudan society appears convoluted and ritualistic. The Vasudans themselves may seem arrogant, treacherous, and superstitious. On the other hand, Vasudans tend to view Terrans as aggressive, paranoid, and stupid. 30 years of peaceful interaction between Terrans and Vasudans has helped to deconstruct these stereotypes. The crowning achievement of the Vasudan civilization is its language. For the average Terran, the formalities governing its usage are beyond comprehension. Syntax and vocabulary are dictated by such factors as the speaker's age, rank, and caste, time of day, and the phase of the Vasudan calendar, and the relative spatial position of the speaker to the emperor. This is further compounded by the existence of several alphabets, dozens of verb tenses, and thousands of dialects. A translation device is standard on all GTVA communication systems, enabling Terrans and Vasudans to understand each other. Because the Terran homeworld was primarily desert, the Terrans used Egyptian names to designate Vasudan warships during the Terran-Vasudan War and the Great War. After the defeat of the Shivans, the Vasudans insisted on maintaining this convention. The emperor strongly identified with the history of ancient Egypt, particularly the longevity of its civilization. Following their emperor's example, the Vasudans will take on what they call a Terran name from the myths and history of ancient Egypt. A lot of stuff to read. Should put some backstory on this. I never played the first game. It's hard to tell what if Babylon 5 was an inspiration for this game, because this Babylon 5, I believe, started before this game was out. See what the first what's up here. There's nothing up here. So where did I start? There we go.
Welcome to Vega, Ensign. I'm Lieutenant Lukakis, Squadron Leader of the 53rd Hammerheads. You've been assigned to our unit. The Hammerheads are a space superiority squadron. We'll be flying the Myrmidon fighter, developed to replace the old GTF Ulysses. The Myrmidon is a Teran-Vasudan design and a versatile ship with high marks for speed, maneuverability, armor, and loadout. The 53rd Hammerheads were formed during the Great War. At the time, we served on board the GTD Bastion, the finest ship in the history of Terran space travel. You may not know this, but the pilots who destroyed the ST Lucifer in 2335 were based on the Bastion, and some were even Hammerheads. With the 53rd, you're part of a long and proud tradition. When the explosion of the Lucifer collapsed the jump node to the Sol system and severed all contact with Earth, Command transferred the Bastion to the 4th Fleet in Vega. Since then, we've called Vega our home. Now Command has decommissioned the Bastion and reassigned its squadrons to the newer Hecate destroyers. We'll be joining the GTD Aquitaine, flagship of the 3rd Fleet, Capella. The Aquitaine will be here in 36 hours. In the meantime, it would be advisable to review your training. We have all the simulator modules you'll need for the Myrmidon fighter. These modules will give you a refresher course on such basics as your head-up display, throttle controls, and targeting. If you need to review your training, now would be a good time to do so. Because this is your first combat assignment, you'll be authorized to carry the standard armaments: the Subak HL-7, the Tempest Dumbfire, and the Rockeye heat-seeking missile. These weapons are covered in the training modules and in the tech room database. As you gain experience in combat, you will be authorized to use more advanced weaponry. Good luck, pilot, and welcome again to the 53rd.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103C, Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with basic targeting, throttle, and weapon systems. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA combat training program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training. Welcome to Module TSM-103C, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. The first function you will learn is targeting. Target my fighter. In the lower left-hand corner of your HUD is your target view. The top lines display the targeted ship's name and class. The next line shows the distance to your target and its speed. Note the brackets around my ship indicating I am your current target. As I fly out of view, the off-screen indicator will display. It points in the direction you must turn in order to face your target. The indicator moves as I fly around. It is always pointing at your target. Notice how the triangles separate. The farther apart they are, the farther you'll have to turn to face your target. Finally, note the number by the indicator. This is the distance to your target. The circular gauge near the bottom of your HUD is the radar. Friendly ships are shown in green. Hostile ships appear in red. The in front of you appear in the radar center. Using your main flight controller, turn your ship toward mine. Stop when my ship is in your center reticle.
I do have to say a joystick would probably be better because constantly having to use my mouse moving across the desk here, and then unless I change the sensitivity, it's like I'm going to run out of
Good.
space.
Now stay in that position. Now turn toward my ship again. Match my speed. Good. Now follow me. Note how your speed automatically changes to match mine. To the left of the reticle is the speed gauge. The capital M next to the current speed indicates that you are matching speed with your target. Now, I want you to accelerate and move to within 125 meters of me. Do not collide with my ship. Well done. Now let's practice using the afterburner. Engage your afterburner, pilot. The gauge to the left of your speed gauge displays remaining afterburner power. Note that your engines consume it rapidly. That extra speed is useful for quick, evasive maneuvers and closing large distances. Maintain your maximum top speed. Try it now. Now, bring your fighter to a complete stop. Drone 1 has jumped in. Target it. Good. Now fly within 100 units of it and come to a stop. Be careful not to fly too fast. Well done. Note that it takes some time to come to a complete stop. Now fire your primary weapon at Drone 1. Hit it a few times, but do not destroy it. Near the center of your HUD, the hull integrity of your target is displayed. Notice that it has dropped from 100%. This information is also available in the upper right corner of your target view. Now, destroy Drone 1. Good job. Let's see how quickly you can destroy these new drones. Target hostiles and destroy them with your Subak HL-7. The HL-7 is standard issue on all Myrmidon space superiority fighters.
Invalid target. Hold your fire.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm moving my mouse all over the place and I'm running out of room. Definitely, if I'm going to be playing Star Citizen, if I can ever afford to pledge, we'll have a joystick. Having to kind of lift the mouse up and go back and forth is not easy. But check the sensitivity in the options and change it so I don't have to move so much. And all the key pressing, having to remember what to do.
Well done. This concludes Module TSM-103C. Most sorties will end with an order to return to base. Do not leave the field of engagement until you have been authorized to do so. Your navigation computer will be programmed with the proper coordinates. All you need to do is engage your subspace drive. Do this now. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM-103C Class C qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B.
I don't want to go back. So there's joystick sensitivity, mouse sensitivity. I have a on-the-fly mouse sensitivity. It doesn't seem to do anything. Let's try that. See if I can at least replay part of that again.
Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM-103B Class B qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. This module has been designed to acquaint pilots with advanced targeting controls, weapon systems, and rearming procedures. TSM units are approved for use as part of the GTVA Combat Training Program or as a review for qualified pilots. The TSM series is not intended as a substitute for actual field training. Welcome to Module TSM-103B, pilot. Don't touch the controls until you are told to do so. You will fail this session if you do not follow instructions carefully. Begin by targeting my fighter. In combat, you will need to acquire your targets quickly. With multiple wings and warships, you will not have time to cycle through all objects in sensor range to find a specific target. Let's take a look at some controls that will help you locate targets more efficiently. 2 drones will be used for the first part of this exercise. You have a targeting control which enables you to acquire the nearest hostile target. Using the control repeatedly will cycle through hostile targets in order of their proximity. Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Good. Now target Drone 2.
Okay, I just did a right click and I didn't. It says to do button 3, but nothing's happening. And it says H, isn't it? There we go.
Excellent. Now we'll learn another useful targeting control. As a GTVA fighter pilot, you will be called upon to defend larger vessels, from troop transports to destroyer-class warships. For this simulation, let's bring in a Triton-class freighter. Observe that the name and hull integrity of the freighter appears in the box to the right of your reticle. This escort list enables you to monitor its status. You can target ships on your escort list by using the escort targeting control. Target the freighter now. Well done. On any escort mission, it is important that you stay close to vessels you have been assigned to protect. The escort targeting control makes locating these ships more efficient. Be advised, the escort list will not be limited to ships you have been ordered to protect. Any major target, friendly or hostile, could appear on that list. This will help you monitor the status of ships with tactical or strategic importance. Let's review what we've covered so far. Target Drone 1 with your hostile targeting control. Now, target Drone 2. Now, target the freighter with your escort targeting control. Well done. In Module TSM-103C, you practiced firing your HL-7. We'll now take a closer look at your primary and secondary weapons. Your weapons loadout is displayed to the right of your reticle. Primary cannons are listed above your secondary missile banks. Use your primary weapon selector to toggle either one or both cannons to fire. Firing both primaries will inflict more damage, but will also drain more energy from your fighter's reserves. The Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter has 3 missile banks. As a new pilot, you will be authorized to use the Tempest Dumbfire and the Rockeye Heat Seeker. Let's practice firing the Tempest. Use your secondary weapon selector to arm your bank of Tempest missiles. Good. Tempests are dumbfire projectiles. These warheads have no homing system, so they'll fly in the direction in which they are fired. For this reason, they are most effective at close range. Unless your aim is very precise, hitting targets at a distance with a Tempest may be difficult. Now, select Drone 1 using your hostile targeting control. Good. Destroy Drone 1 with your Tempest missiles. Close your distance if you need to. Well done. The Tempest may not be as accurate as a heat or aspect-seeking missile, but a Myrmidon can carry up to 320 of these missiles. A volley of Tempest will quickly pulverize an enemy fighter. To maximize their effectiveness, use them in conjunction with your Subak HL-7. While the lasers penetrate the shields of your target, the missiles will impact the enemy's hull. Let's move on to the Rockeye Heat Seeker. Arm the Rockeye with your secondary weapon selector. Well done. Now target Drone 2. When you fire the Rockeye, the missile's tracking system will lock onto the heat signature of your target. Be aware the homing radius of the Rockeye is limited, and your target must be near the center of your HUD. Destroy Drone 2 using your Rockeye missiles. Nice shooting, pilot. Compared to the Tempest, the Rockeye is more accurate and has a greater effective range. However, the Myrmidon can carry no more than 20 Rockeyes. You can also toggle double fire mode to launch twice the ordnance. You will inflict more damage and increase your chances of hitting the target, but your missiles will be depleted more rapidly in double fire mode. We will now send in more drones so you can practice firing missiles. Be sure to toggle between banks so you can get a feel for both the Tempest and the Rockeye. When you run low on missiles, you need to rearm your fighter. To do this, you must call in a support ship. First, press the communications key to bring up your messaging window, followed by the 5 key to rearm. In order for the support ship to dock, you must bring your fighter to a complete stop. The support ship will then automatically dock with you. In the lower portion of your HUD, an indicator displays the support ship's ETA. The support ship's primary purpose is twofold. First, it will reload your secondary weapons and countermeasures. Second, the support ship is capable of making minor repairs to your ship. It can fully repair any damaged or destroyed subsystem. However, the support ship cannot repair your hull. Keep in mind, a support ship can only load as many weapons as it has on board. It may not be enough to completely rearm your fighter.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
We covered a lot in this module. If you need to review this material, replay the simulation. Otherwise, you are qualified to proceed to TSM 103A. Engage your subspace drive. Well done, pilot. You have successfully completed TSM 103B Class B qualification for the Myrmidon Space Superiority Fighter. You may now proceed to Training Simulator Module TSM 103A. Welcome to Training Simulator Module TSM.
I think I'm going to stop this game here for now. It's just, I don't want to get too much into it. I'm going to have to figure out a better way to play with a mouse. Didn't seem like the sensitivity did much. I have to study more of the manual and so forth. So if you're going to watch this on YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, just look at the more info section or the links on where to get Freespace 2 for cheap, as well as the places to install instructions I mentioned earlier. And follow me at Twitch for live streams. If you're using Chrome, there is an extension called Twitch Now that you can install. It will notify you of people that you follow on Twitch, and then you can cancel your email notifications if you don't want to get emailed about live streams.